Are Canadian wines overpriced? We've tasted thousands of Canadian wines over the last 5 years. Stay till the end to hear what we think about that.
And this is day 3 of tasting a Canadian wine every day until we hit 1,000 subscriber on this platform. So, it's so exciting. Here we are.
Yeah.
So
if you're on YouTube with us, if you're on YouTube, hit subscribe, hit the notification button, help us get to that 1,000. We'll do even more fun things after that. So don't worry. We'll keep tasting Canadian wine. But yeah, we hear this a lot, don't we, Carl? Canadian wine.
We hear that. We hear that every day. And I think like with what we tasted yesterday at a member's birthday party, it can dispel that myth forever. I mean, this is vintage red and vintage white, two blends from Fair Oaks Winery from Niagara that absolutely crushed this price point. Absolutely crushed it. So, red blend, white blend. Yeah, this is our birthday.
And we blind tasted everyone, and I think the lowest someone guessed was $25. Do we want to say how much these bottles are?
That was the lowest guess of all of the guests. Like 14 guests, the lowest guess was $25. The highest was $42.
Because
these two wines.
This is a winery that we have tasted some of our highest rated wines in the club's history from, right? There are 2 Chardonnay, which by the way is coming to Burgundy with us. And by the way, their winemaker, Stephanie and Fabian Rice, they are coming to Burgundy with us too.
They sure do. And they're known to make some of the very top premium wines out of Niagara. They make an incredible Syrah, Malbec, their Black Lion Meritage. I gave it 95 points on the blind tasting on the Red Blend Marathon a few years ago. These guys are known to make outstanding premium wine, and they just came up with that. This is red blend, a white blend, and I gave these wines 91 plus points and 90 plus points on a scale of 100. Guess how much is this? $16.75 a bottle. Really? $16.75 a bottle, including tax.
So that's tax in. And if you're in BC, usually wine prices are plus tax. So it's kind of like a $14.80 bottle in BC. It is a heck of a deal. Now, Carl Boucher, we've tasted thousands and thousands of wines. There's been quite a few that just blow our socks off in terms of value, right?
Yes.
Doesn't necessarily mean they're the lowest priced bottle on the shelf, but the value is outstanding. Right? So you can have a $20, $35 bottle that tastes like a $50, $60 bottle. The value is amazing. This bottle at that price point, it's truly something remarkable what they've been able to do at that price point. It's easier to make a premium wine that's super high quality, isn't it? Versus something at this price point. I think it's more of a challenge for the winemaker.
I mean, let's define value, right? What does value means? And to me, it's the wine completely over deliver. What's in the bottle over deliver its price point, and by how much, right? You just mentioned, to me, much easier to make an outstanding $100 wine. With these type of wine, you have all of the elements that you want, like brand new barrels. You have the aging and the cellar. There's so many factors that you control into a premium wine. But when you go into a value wine, this is one of the hardest things to do. It's to produce an outstanding value wine.
And especially if you're not relying on a lot of the sort of additives and tricks that mass-produced wines rely on, right? This is actually made by an independent small batch winery. They treat it with the same level of care and attention as their super premium wines.
That's exactly it. And also in Canada, because we know that the labor here in the country cost a lot. So to be able to produce a wine at that price point and delivered at such a high level, it's absolutely astonishing. I'm so impressed. And not only me, but all of the crowd last night were like, what? 1675. So a little bit later on, stay on, because I'm going to mention a few of the great value wine that we've tasted over the year. But here at that price point, let's unpack what we have here, okay, in front of us, because there's two. The white blend here, it's a blend of 82% Riesling and 18% Chardonnay. Riesling and Chardonnay blend, two of the grapes that they do the best down at Ferox. And the fun thing what they do here, they do a multi-vintage blend. So these are grapes harvested from 3 different vintages, 22, 23, and 24 vintages. 2022 is the base of that wine, and 2022 was an outstanding vintage for white wine in Niagara. So the 2 best varietals that this producer do, it's Riesling and Chardonnay, is blending the both varietals together. Age in oak for the Chardonnay 22, age in oak, put in there. So it's not that little lean, cheap, like multi-grapes blend that you don't even know what's in it. This is, wow, this is precision. The nose is exuberant, and the palate, the texture on the palate, like delivers something like much pricier than one you get.
It's got actually surprisingly low alcohol, 10%. I think 10% it's like
alcohol.
The perfect weeknight wine if you're having like fettuccine Alfredo, if you're having like some creamy shrimp. Like, what else would you have with this? Let me see.
Pad Thai, pad Thai, butter chicken, because there's a little bit of sweetness in there. It's not sweet like candy, but the Riesling in there brings a little bit of sweetness, which with a round texture, plus the weight of the Chardonnay. So you have such an incredible balance between the both, and that little sweetness that always gets me so curious, because this slight RS lives at the end brings a lot of complexity, but also a lot of fun. So this can be drink with a lot of spicy food, and it's just so approachable. I love that. And this garnered the highest score of the both at 91 plus points, because I think, to me, I would pay at least, I would go up to at least $25 plus tax. I can even go up to $26, $27 for that wine at $16.75. It blows my expectation out of the water. It's not even funny. So I really appreciate that texture, complexity, a little sweetness. There's so much going on, and it's so versatile with a lot of different foods on the table.
Absolutely. It is a super food friendly, super delicious wine. And at that price point, you can't go wrong. But you know what's even harder to find than a really great value white wine in that $15, $16, $17 range, tax in? It's even harder to find a value red wine, especially with the varietals in this one. So tell us about the red.
That's awesome, because, okay, again, multi-vintage. Now here we have 4 vintages. It's 4 different vintages in that wine: 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. All of these varietals, which is the composition here, it's 53% Zweigel. So if you know about like those international grapes, Zweigel is one of the very popular grape in Austria. Made his way down here in Canada maybe 15 years ago. Fabian is one of the only one to grow Zweigel in the country. And he has kind of a decent piece of his vineyard of Zweigel. And there's 53% of that varietal in that blend. You got also 18% Merlot. You got 13% Syrah. Yes, the Troubled Child Syrah that we all love so much. So a good, generous 13% in there. There's 8% of Cab Franc, and a splash of Malbec. A very intriguing red blend that I gave 90 plus points because at 1675, it's very, very impressive. The delivery, the richness, it's a medium body wine, but this one is dancing. This wine has some energy in there. There's a nice acidity, but there's also texture. And why? All of the varietals, the 5 varietals blended in that wine were aged independently for 2 years in oak barrel. So there's 2 years of aging in oak before blending. So all of these varietals have a nice texture, a little bit of oak influence in there. So this is not that stainless steel, linear, lean type of value wine. No, this has oomph. This has body. Really intriguing. And that's funny because when I was quizzing our guest last night, no one obviously guessed Zweigel. But when you dig a little deeper into it, like that floral component, the little meatiness, smokiness, and with the Syrah that lifts everything up and brings some body, the Merlot's bringing nice texture. The Malbec is bringing some of that purple color in there. So all of these components together, when you look at the list, you're like, that's interesting. And when you taste it, you're like, holy smokes, oh yeah, I like that. And again, $16.75 for a bottle like that, made by a small producer, independent producer. This is not manipulated. It's beautiful wine. Okay, it's from multiple vintage. Why not? This is awesome.
Really well done. Really well done. So way to go, Ferox. We couldn't help it. I mean, we had a shipment from Ferox last week, and we started this daily challenge to get 1,000 subscribers, and we will go live or post a Canadian wine review every single day till we get to that 1,000 subscribers. We started it with the R2 Chardonnay, which is also from Ferox, an amazing Chardonnay, 94 plus points from Carl. So we started this challenge with that 2 days ago. Yesterday, we posted a video about our favorite Cab Sauv ever that we've tasted from Canada, the 2015 Fairview Cellars Iconoclast, 95 points, Carl's Wine Club, and so worth it. And today we're going down value. So we couldn't help it. I know we've done 2 days of Ferox now, but we just had to let you guys know, especially after the blind tasting last night and the kinds of reactions we had. We've featured these wines in the club when they first came out last fall. And we have, just resuscitated like our enthusiasm for how amazing value these wines are after tasting it blind last night with members and realizing like, wow, what a find.
I'll be honest with you. I had something else on deck for today. I was thinking of something very different. And I knew that you just mentioned, we already featured Ferox. We already talked about Ferox 2 days ago. The R2 2021 chart is one of my favorite charts, coming to Burgundy with us. But I had something completely different in mind. After the reaction of the crowd last night, it was clear from me that I was changing the lineup. I was coming back with that. I wanted to talk about the value because it's so rare to have that opportunity. It's so rare to have that price point absolutely crushing it that way. I was like, no way. We got to change. You know what? 2 days out of 3 of Ferox, who cares? This is worth talking about. I mean, over the years, 5 years, well, now 6 years almost of Carl's Wine Club, this is the toughest thing we have to, like, our job, the toughest part of our job is to find outstanding value wine. Like, I can name a few, right? Well, I mean, the Burnship Bay wine, the second label of Bella Terra, crushed it 2 years ago. That found was outstanding. The Sauvignon Blanc, the Reserve Red, and the Cap Merlot. These wines over deliver their price points big time. From BC.
Well, I mean, every year you publish your top 3 value wines of the year, and a lot of the time Ontario wines just rocket with that value price point because they have some advantages that do make it a little bit easier to make that price point. They have the ability to do more machine harvesting and optical sorting. The land is less expensive there, things like that. But so they have a bit more volume they can work with, things like that.
Oh, I totally agree. And for Ferox also, in the family, in Fabian's family, some other a family member owned vineyards. So Fabian has access to a larger pool of vineyards. So that allows him to go and play in the value sandbox. But that doesn't mean that the winemaker or the wine owner will be able to crush it at that level. That's what's impressing, right? Vineland Estate absolutely over delivers on a few of their labels every year. So we like their $16-17. But here, this is those blends, especially the red is so intriguing when you look at it with Malbec, Syrah, and Merlot, which make half the wine all blended together. And with the Zweigel, you're like, whoa, this is fun. But $16.75, is it going to be good? And that was my concern. And the first time that I got my nose in it, I'm like, holy smokes. It smells good. It smells like complete. It smells appealing. The aromas are matching. There's nothing disjointed. And you taste it and you're like, oh my God, really? This is awesome. So yeah, I like that. I think, to me, like I mentioned earlier, I wouldn't mind to pay $25 for those wines. I wouldn't budge. Not even a bit.
So here's the crazy thing. So when word gets out about a gem like this, 3 things can happen. One is, this is a small producer, okay? This can and will sell out. And then when they release the next one, I can almost bet you that the price will be a bit higher because they'll know how much of an awesome reputation it's gotten and how much they underpriced it. But don't tell them yet till we all stock up, okay?
Exactly.
And so I got to say, we were chatting with Fabian, who's the owner of Ferox, with his wife, Stephanie. And I think they said a club member liked it so much that they bought a pallet. I don't know how many cases that is, 36 cases?
52 cases. 52 cases a pallet.
For their personal and business use over the year, because it's such amazing value. So at that rate, I don't think these will last for very long. Go tell the others. Collector members, we've sent a link your way, so you have first access to these with some special, your free shipping on 6 or more bottles that we always have for our collector members. And if there's some left, we will also share with the rest of our members. So check your inbox for that. Hey, Carl Boucher, this is day 3 of our opening a different Canadian wine every day until we hit 1,000 subscribers. Guys, help us share the Canadian wine joy. Help us by hitting subscribe, hit that bell notification to get more updates from us. And we'll be back again tomorrow for day 4.
We sure will, with a different aspect of the Canadian wine business, of the Canadian wine aspect. So we're looking forward to see you again tomorrow. Thank you.
Cheers.